Hey Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Are you ready for more in 2026? More money, more joy, more creativity, more prosperity, more abundance, more success? If so, then you are in the right place. So welcome to the channel, or welcome back. So awesome to have you here, Libras. Using the energies really does change everything, and that is the lens through which we are doing this reading today. Anything that we are discussing here is meant as inspiration to help you manifest greater prosperity, abundance, and success with your money and career goals in 2026. If you would like me to take a personal look at your money astrology with my money activation reading, I will leave a link to that in the description of the video because, of course, this is a general reading. And if you really want the key insights, you need to look at your personal astrology, and that's where I can help you. All right, Libra, let's get a wealth code oracle card for you and see what planetary energy may be helpful for you in the year ahead to align with in order to manifest your money and career goals. And also, there are keywords on this card that may be helpful to you as well. Libras, let us see what we have here. We have the Sage, we have Jupiter. Now, I'm going to be pulling a few cards toward the end of this reading about Jupiter. So it's interesting, you have gotten Jupiter. The beautiful owl, the Sage, being very wise. The truth will set me free. Wise, spiritual, wealthy. We like that. Gracious, intuitive, inspired, devoted, expansive, self-reflective, truth-seeking, emotionally intelligent, truthful, philosophical, and charitable. What truth about your money and career situation is going to set you free in the year ahead, Libra? Let me know in the comments. What do you need to acknowledge? What do you need to look at with wisdom, not with shaming, but with wisdom, to shift your situation in the way that you would like? Jupiter is about expansion and growth. Jupiter is in your 10th house of career, Cancer, until June 30th. And then it will switch into your house of personal gains after that, which is Leo. So as I said, we will come back to Jupiter in a little while with some other cards, but let's pull from this deck and see what you need to know about this wisdom energy that's showing up here and the truth setting you free. Jupiter energy is connected with the 9th house. It's connected with Sagittarius energy as well. That is your 3rd house of communication and mindset, the Sagittarian energy. So this could be about facing something mentally, again, speaking, writing, telling truth, in order to free your situation, change your situation, create wealth for yourself, perhaps using your mind and your wisdom to generate income. So let us see. Jupiter can be about expansion, philosophy. Whatever Jupiter touches tends to grow. So as you grow in truth and wisdom, so too when you apply it, your finances may also grow. There could be something here with teaching and learning that is possibly a key to money and career energies in the year ahead. All right, let us see. Libras. Wow, your Venus energy, the Empress, gorgeous, and the High Priestess. Wow, so 2 very strong feminine energies. One that is much more visible, the Empress, and one which is much more hidden away. Both of them can be energies of incubation, though, of something getting ready, is being prepared. Empress, though, is an energy associated with wealth. And the High Priestess, an energy associated with intuition, which is here on your card, intuitive and inspired. So it is possible that through some sort of private study, working on the project yourself, tuning into your intuition, learning something on your own, even with the High Priestess here. You could perhaps be leveraging that intuition, that new knowledge base, that special skill into some sort of growth of your finances. But this can also be like whatever you have as raw material, this High Priestess, this raw material needs to be shaped into something creative. So you have the knowledge and the wisdom, in other words. That is the High Priestess, which is the owl. I mean, they're very coordinated here, the energies. But then how do we turn it into something tangible? The Empress has turned her creative energy into the ultimate tangible thing, which is a baby. But it's a metaphor, of course, because everything is a metaphor. So it's about growing new life, new opportunities through one's creative energies. And because this is your card associated with Venus, your ruling planet, this is particularly significant. And because we have two strong feminine energies here, this is not about pushing and being assertive with something. This is about aligning with natural wisdom, knowledge, and flow, and creating it like organically. That's the best word I can think of. Organically, that it arises from within you. You don't need to be looking out there, outside of yourself, for answers, Libra, in terms of what you can do to grow your money and career path in the year ahead. It's going to come from within you. And it is about right timing and intuitively waiting until the time is right before you commit to anything that would require a lot of energy, Empress, for your growth in the year ahead. Because again, Empress suggests it could be something quite significant and require a lot of energy from you. So you want to just be sure and that you're deciding the right thing. But this planetary energy here, the Sage, connected with the High Priestess, but also the Jupiter, definitely connected also with the idea of the Empress expanding. I mean, she's literally growing, in the card, she's growing a human. So that's what I would say is like, what do you want to grow with your natural abilities, your natural wisdom, your natural gifts and talents? Like you already have it there. Yeah, maybe you're going to hone a few skills and learn a little bit. That's possible with the High Priestess. But the other thing is, don't let that trip you up and think, oh, I need to get a degree before I can do this, or I need to do XYZ before I can do this. Your credential is your own knowledge base and your own energy. If you want to study something, fine. But I think the more important thing here, it's always good to up-level our skills, I think. The more important thing is that you commit to planting the seed wisely that's going to grow naturally and organically out of your own unique energy. And I think the other thing that's important about that too is like that card was about the truth shall set me free. High Priestess can oftentimes be an energy associated with a side gig, a side hustle, something you're doing and growing for yourself. So some of you, the truth that might be setting you free is that you really need to start developing your own thing. Like as we know in today's economy, job market, different things, at least if you have your own gig, your own thing you're doing, you have more control over it than just, whatever's going on out there in the marketplace. Now, I'm not saying you should start a side hustle, but if that applies to you and you've been thinking about it, this energy suggests this could be a good time to get that ball rolling. If that is a truth that you have been kind of circling around and being like, yeah, you know what, maybe I really need to do that for myself. All right, so let's see what else we need to know here. Also, I would say here, be very wise, Jupiter, and be very careful with your money decisions over the year ahead. You could grow your finances, absolutely, with the Empress here. But this is not going to become through Jupiter energy in the sense of when Jupiter is just damn the consequences, do whatever. Jupiter can be a very high roller, let's say, especially when Jupiter is going to go into Leo. People may be like, knowing no limits. And that is not the wise use of Jupiter. So you can grow your money possibly with these energies, but make sure you're doing homework, a high priestess. Make sure you're making financial decisions, not from blowhard Jupiter promises, but from actual, real, prudent information that you've also run through your intuitive guidance system. Right? All right, let's see what else we have going on here for you. Let's pull from this deck. We're going to pull 3 cards from this and we'll do some tarot. We have Mars in Capricorn, authority. Yes, Mars is currently in Capricorn. It will go into Aquarius in a couple of weeks. I'm filming this January 8th. I almost said June. I'm getting ahead of myself. January 8th. So we have Mars in Capricorn, your 4th house of home, family, roots, what nourishes you, what feeds you, the foundation of your life. So building something based on your own authority that could be foundational in your life, that again ties back to the Empress, that can grow. Right? You're building a foundation of it for yourself. Mars in Capricorn is the architect, is the builder, and wants to build things with strategy, does not like to waste time, energy, or resources. It's laser focused. I call Mars the arrow of desire. You're pointing your arrow of desire in the 4th house of, this has to be solid in my life. I need to build this upon a secure foundation. So the same thing as I was saying before, like whatever you decide to get involved with your money and career life, make sure it's built upon something solid, not just a get rich quick scheme or a flash in the pan idea, but that it is run through the Capricorn practicality of, this actually has a chance of working out because I am not taking shortcuts. I am doing what needs to be done to build on a solid foundation. There may be things going on with home and family that relate to money and career in the year ahead. The same thing, it requires strategy and a strong foundation. Okay, let us see. We have the 2 of Cups and we have the Hierophant. Okay, very interesting. So there may be an important conversation, interview, negotiation, discussion about some sort of commitment, Hierophant, and a public commitment, I would say. So probably a contract, something legally binding that, because again, we're talking about authority here with this card. And notice that we have a papal figure on both of these cards, in the Hierophant and also on the authority card. So this is kind of like, I mean, for want of a better description, getting a blessing in a way, or rather having the blessing of something that is legally binding. So the kind of vibe I'm getting is you want to guarantee with something. I don't think you want to go on promises anymore. Like, oh, they're promising you a promotion and they don't give it to you, or they're promising you they'll let you buy the house after you've been renting it or whatever, and then they don't do that. Like these types of examples, right? You're not on that. You're not playing that game, Libra. You're not playing that game in 2026. So I think as much as with this 2 of Cups, it could be good, somebody having a negotiation with you, make sure, I would say, that there is the paperwork, the contract, the commitment behind it. It's not just a lot of hot air, 2 of Cups, not just like promises, empty promises, but that it has the authority behind it. Blessings will come with authority. That's like what I'm feeling here. Goodwill is all well and good, but where's the paperwork to back it up? Where's the money? Where's the contract? You get what I am saying here. And with your energy here of authority that came up for you, Like, you may need to be the one that's a little more assertive with that. And just like vibes are not going to cut it. You get what I'm saying? And I think, Libras, you, of course, can be very strategic and focused on contracts and all the things. And you tend to be very amenable and polite. The Libra charm. We love Libras for that. But the people need to know that, yes, you can be charming, 2 of Cups, but it's also the iron fist and the velvet glove. Like, you will deal with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they do not give you the goods, show up with the money and contract, then forget it. You're not interested. Okay? That's the feeling I'm getting here. And that's where that Sage and Jupiter energy can come really to your benefit here. With a wise owl, super intuitive. High Priestess, super intuitive. So somebody, could be showing up all nice, but you're sensing something under the surface. If they're not there with the commitment, forget it. All right, let's see what else we have going on. We have inheritance, Saturn in Scorpio. Which is your second house of money. Now, inherit means to receive. Okay, it does not necessarily mean that somebody is going to pass away. Okay, and that's not how I do tarot or astrology. These are never predictions. This is always energy for you to be aware of and to use. So again, going back to the definition of inherit, to receive. So there might be something you're on the receiving end of in the year ahead with your money and career life. It is associated with Scorpio in this card. So it could have something to do with transformation, unexpected situations, change that comes about. Like the inheritance could be you're getting money because you're selling a property, right? I mean, it's still the same thing. You're receiving something. And it's Saturn. So Saturn, commitments, contracts, which ties in also with the energy we just had as well. All right, let us see here. Libras. Wow, 9 of Cups, beautiful. Oh, and the 7 of Swords. All right. The vibe I'm getting is don't let your appetite, wishes, and desires blind you to a reality. All right, so slightly cautionary here. I'm just going to say it because the 7 of Swords is showing up. Hey, I read what comes up. This 9 of Cups, you are wishing for some sort of commitment or transformation in your money life, okay, with the second house of money showing up. And that's all well and good. But the issue with a 9 of Cups is that it can sometimes be greedy. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because we have a 7 of Swords here. And the 7 of Swords can be something, fear-based, fear-motivated. It, yes, can be, I'm not telling the truth. And meanwhile, we had tell the truth with the Jupiter card here. The truth will set me free, but we're showing up here with a card that's not about the truth. So in my opinion, it's important for you to act with the utmost integrity in the year ahead when it comes to anything financial. Because also Scorpio here in this card of inheritance, Scorpio is shadow energy. It rules the 8th house. It just in general, in the astrological wheel, it can be about the underbelly, the shadow side that, we often deal with in life. And because it's the 8th house in the astrological wheel, it can be related to other people's resources. So if you're too greedy and there's a Fibonacci going on, whether you're saying it or somebody else is saying it to you, the whole thing lacks integrity. And usually things like that happen create negative karma or create, again, usually I'm just speaking in general, other circumstances that are energetically not clear or clean. Let's just put it that way. So I feel it's important for you to be alert to that, whether your own situation or if you're getting the sense somebody else is trying to cheat you out of something, just be aware of that. Because also you have the protection of the high priestess here and this owl energy on the truth will set you free. Don't blind yourself either to somebody else's greed that might be going on with this inheritance card. Okay. And there's also the possibility too that timing is everything. This could also tie in with waiting appropriately for something to come in that is not immediately visible. It's flying under the radar, which also ties in with the high priestess. So it could be too that if you bide your time, the right thing may manifest with this receiving of whatever this inheritance situation is. So I hope that makes sense. And also too, in any money dealings that you are having, keep them private, because other people can definitely cast jealousy, evil eye, from this energy onto any prosperity that you might be experiencing. And, again, you might be experiencing. We have the Empress here. All right, Libras, let's see what else we need to know for you. Energetic possibilities in money and career 2026. Let us see. Oh, we have Jupiter in Libra, negotiation. So we have an energy of yours, again, showing up here. We had the Empress before, and now this one. So yes, I'm going to pull another one because I feel like this is corroborating what we have already discussed with this Hierophant and this Mars authority, this situation. I do feel there is some sort of major negotiation that you may be going for, whether it's negotiating a raise, a promotion, negotiating some sort of sale of something, whatever that inheritance energy might be for you. And, you're willing to be fair and balanced. Is somebody else, though? We have a 7 of Swords to keep an eye on in this reading. So, negotiate with the utmost integrity, but keep one eye open and know that somebody else around you may not have full disclosure, may be a little, dishonest. Okay. All right. Let's see what else. Let's pull another one. We have power. Wow. More Scorpio, moon in Scorpio. There's a lot of Scorpio energy coming up here. I mean, even this owl is very Scorpionic. High priestess can be a little Scorpionic. Also, moon in Scorpio about power. Scorpio, your second house of self-worth, self-esteem. There is something here about really standing up for yourself in the year ahead. And you may have, with Saturn and Neptune going into your 7th house of other people this year, you may have instances where, yes, in money and career life especially, you're going to need to assert yourself in a way that feels appropriate to you, whatever that may be, with your second house, Scorpio. But as I was saying before, the iron fist and the velvet glove, you don't have to be mean about it, but you just need to let them know, like you are not to be trifled with. You are not to be played. The Chariot, beautiful. And the 5 of coins. Wow, very instructive. And we also have double 8s going on here. We have the 8 here on the Saturn in Scorpio. And we also have an 8 on the moon in Scorpio, because as I was saying before, Scorpio in the astrological wheel is associated with the 8th house of other people's resources. So what this is saying to me, this is your 10th house of career, this Chariot, Jupiter and Cancer energy that's showing up. And then we have the 5 of coins. So you can choose a path that will lead you down, a 5 of coins situation, or you can choose a path that's going to lead to empowerment and perhaps greater finances for you. And because we're talking about your second house of self-worth, and I read Pentacles also as self-esteem, we're showing up here with a sense of lack and undeservedness. So it is time to really empower yourself in 2026 away from a path where maybe you have settled for less than what you deserved in the past. It's a whole new game in 2026. No more of that. And with the Saturn-Neptune energy in your 7th house, and it's Aries, your 7th house, yes, you may need to be assertive. That Mars that we had before in Capricorn, that Mars-Aries energy of, I'm not signing up for anything unless it's in a new paradigm, the Chariot, unless it acknowledges, excuse me, my power, it acknowledges my contributions, it acknowledges, that I'm in the driver's seat of this particular situation and negotiation. So there is a real sense of moving away from disempowering situations with this Five of Coins showing up here. Okay. And it's always about using the energy. We have the moon in Scorpio, power. And also, let's discuss Jupiter. Now, Jupiter is in your 10th house of career, Cancer, until June 30th. And so what I think is also interesting, because we just had that Cancer energy with the Chariot here, is you really could be moving to some sort of up-leveling in your public profile, your career life. And again, like, charge what you're worth. No more of this Five of Coins that your skills, your energy, your knowledge, your wisdom comes cheap. No, it does not. No, it does not. And I think especially from now until June 30th, these energies may be in play. All right, let's see. What do we need to know from now until June 30th? Jupiter and Cancer, another message for the Libras. I'm just looking at Bobby to see what he's doing. He's stalking. I don't know what he's doing. Okay, Libras, let's see what we have. Jupiter and Cancer. We have understanding. Look at the birds flying out of the cage here. So there is something going on where you're going to intuitively, because this is water energy, understand, and your 10th house is water. You're going to intuitively understand what you need to do to set yourself free and on a new path. And you have that wind beneath your wings, so to speak, to do that the first 6 months of the year. So where do you need to communicate? Where do you need to expand? Where do you need to tell the truth? Going back to the first card we pulled in this reading today, to set yourself free, and also to up level with that Chariot card we just had. Your journey, your career journey, your money journey. Beautiful. All right. And let's see. Jupiter's going to go into Leo June 30th, July 1st. And that is your 11th house of hopes and wishes and dreams, and also personal gains. So let's see what you need to know about that. Libras. All right, Libras, let's see what you need to know about Jupiter and Leo. We have ripeness. We have the Nine of Coins. Isn't that beautiful? Look at all that juicy fruit on the vine here. Gorgeous apples. So since that's your 11th house of personal gains, I think what you're setting yourself up for, especially the first 6 months of the year, could lead to that ripeness, the results, the juicy results that you are looking for, especially perhaps with the Pentacles, the second half of 2026. So this ripeness and the number 9 associated with the Virgo, the Nine of Coins, the Virgo energy. We had the Empress earlier. Empress takes 9 months to incubate that new life. So truly, what you start this year, early in the year, and as you keep growing and investing your energy into it, it could lead to beautiful results for yourself later in the year. So Libras, thank you so much for joining me for your 2026 money and career energies. I would love to hear on how you plan to use these particular energies as you work toward your money and career goals for 2026. And remember, this is a general reading. If you would like laser-focused insights into your own astrological transits regarding money for the year ahead, then the link to book the private reading with me is in the description. Love you guys. Take care. Bobo and I will see you again soon. Stella Wilde, signing out.